Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. I'm so used to working on Fridays, so it's very different for me, so to speak. We also have a rogue curl here, but we're just going to pretend like that is not happening to my hair right now, right? So, what we are looking at as far as your temperatures go for this evening, we're in the 60s at the moment, finally dropping down, but as you'll notice, overnight hours, it's going to be kind of tough for us to get to those low 60s. Won't really see that until we get into the next morning. So for your Thursday morning, temperatures will be nice and comfortable by 10 a.m. already in the 70s. We'll also see a slight breeze coming out of the southwest, so it's going to be nice and comfortable going through the rest of your day. Temperatures tomorrow expected to be in the 80s. So let's go ahead and walk out the rest of your Thursday. Like I mentioned, highs tomorrow, 80 even. We did have a couple of areas that already tapped out to 80 today. Muscle Shoals, a lot of our folks over on the other end of our communities, looking over to the western folks, a lot of those folks saw about 80 or so. And to the late afternoon. So what we are expecting to pick up in these overnight hours for the next couple of days, those 60s, it'll cool off just a tad. Not really seeing a lot of muggy conditions just yet. It's a little early for that. We usually see that coming up in our April forecasts, but what we are expecting is the next few days to pick up some rain chances. So as you'll see tomorrow, warm afternoon 80s. We'll see the 80s stick around for another day or two, but rain chances are expected to increase going into Friday afternoon. This is around 3:30 that we start to see spotty showers all across the valley. So with that, we are also looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday with more of those rain chances. Should clear out for Friday night. Still waiting to see if our model runs could give us a little more consistency with that, but we'll pick rain chances back up by Saturday. So here's what you're looking at. You can see that band there to the west of our communities, just along western Tennessee and parts of Mississippi. By the time it gets to us, though, we see that heavier part of the rain. You'll notice that kind of shifts south as we go into the afternoon. So we're really left with lighter rain chances. However, it is going to be steady. So going into Saturday afternoon and evening, we'll see those rain chances break apart going through the valley. And then by Sunday afternoon, another chance of showers expected to move in. This time we'll see spotty yet heavy downpours at times. And I believe I have a look at, there we go, our severe risk. We're still very low risk of any kind of storm or anything of that nature. However, looking ahead to our 10-day, I'll show you in a moment, where we are expecting to see what could possibly make out to be the first severe event of the spring season. And I'll show you that in a moment. Looking at our pollen forecast, even though we've got rain on the way, it's not going to help with that pollen, just keeping it sticking around. It's really not going to help very much. We may get more help going into Saturday evening into Sunday. It may taper off just a tad there, but starts to become a little more extreme as we've got more of that wind from the south blowing a lot of that up to our direction. Because as you can imagine, if it's 80 or so here in North Alabama, you can imagine what Central and South Alabama are going through. Therefore, South Alabama, a lot of our southern portion of each state, stretching from Louisiana all the way over to Georgia, even Florida, they've already started to see their pollen intake and already starting to see things bloom. So that just spells trouble for my folks that have allergies like myself. That pollen is going to be kind of brutal going into the next few days. So keep that in mind. Here's what I was mentioning about those rain chances going into the following week. So I did mention we could possibly see some scattered thunderstorms and be pushed up into a marginal risk of some severe weather. Right now, we're just expecting to see a low-end threat. Looks like we start the week off with a 50% chance, but rolling into Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll start to see those chances change around just a tad there. You'll notice our temperatures drop from 80 to 73 on Sunday, and then we're back into those upper end 70s. So we'll take a little dip here and there, but our lows sticking around those 60s quite steady. So we are expecting to see that rain chance and possible storms moving in going into the start of the work week. With that being said, you always want to make sure that you have the WAFF 48 weather app just so you can get up to date and real-time updates about what's going on. If anything changes, if there's a first alert weather day issued, you'd be the first to know. From that standpoint, you want to make sure you have that app downloaded and ready to go, especially as we are now getting into severe weather season. So you really want to make sure that you have that ready to go should the power go out, should anything of dangerous nature happen. And we know our weather can be a little unpredictable, but we try our absolute best to get it right every time. So, of course, you want to stay on top of what we've got on deck for you. Again, looking into next weekend, it looks like we'll have a better shot of some nicer weather by that point. So if you have anything planned for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because of the spotty chance, you may want to try and move some things indoors or maybe just push it back to next week. Looks like we'll see a cool day out of Thursday, 57 degrees, quite chilly. And then by Friday, getting back into the upper 60s before we get into the 70s for next Saturday. Also, don't forget, daylight saving time begins this weekend, so sunsets will stick around a little longer going into the next couple of months. So we'll be on our news will be on its regular schedule tonight at 10 o'clock. So I'll see you on the other side of the screen. Have a great rest of your night.